Hi everyone, it's Asha Marquet here, Lemon Creation. Welcome to my channel. And today I'm gonna be doing art journal page in an altered book. This book is taking time to finish, to be honest. And I do work in so many different journals lately, also on loose pages. So that's why I think it's been a long time since I first time opened this book and I started making the pages or doing art journaling in it. If you watch my channel, you know that I always put 2-3 pages together, depends on the fragility of paper. But if I work in the old books like that, I usually put either some kind of a glue. This one is, for example, matte gel. I even used to do it with the 3D, not 3D, with the double tape, which I used to put between the pages. So everything depends. Whatever actually you want to do, you can do. You can glue the pages together, and the reason for that also because even if you add gesso to the pages but you don't glue 2 or 3 pages together, you will very likely get the seepage, mostly in the creases in the middle. So just always when you use old books, put some pages together and also remove some pages, because if you do bulk journaling or art journaling with bulk pages, yes, it can actually break at the spine if you do not remove from time to time few pages. So usually the golden rule is to, for example, remove 4 pages, glue 3 pages together, and then maybe again remove 4 pages. But everything really depends on the how old is the book and how fragile is the book. You can also glue the pages and prepare the whole book beforehand, and that's maybe the best idea, because as you can see here, I glued the pages actually already when I've done some of them, and I decided that I'm gonna glue the page at the back of the one which was already done. And when you do that, you may get some creases, which you can actually see here. I don't mind the creases. For me, they add a little bit more of texture, but it's harder to actually manage them. So if you want to have a quiet mind or peace of mind, just maybe prepare your book beforehand. So I add a gesso. I add the very heavy gesso from Liquitex, but you can add also absorbent ground. I told you a few times already, absorbent ground, it's my favorite medium, I think, because it doesn't dull the colors, while gesso it does. But gesso gives me a better coverage if I don't want to have the script visible. I would use gesso instead of absorbent ground. In this case, I knew I'm gonna be using Infusions, so I decided that I am gonna actually leave the gesso or work with gesso, and I didn't want to cover completely the script. Usually, if you want to completely cover the script, you would have to probably use 2 layers of gesso. Everything depends also. I did a little bit of stenciling here with the cream paste from Stamperia and my stencils Mark Making Moons, and I got a little bit carried away. The page wasn't completely straight, and I lifted up a stencil a little bit on the right hand side, and I got a little bit of kind of a seepage or not very nice stenciling in the middle. I removed that, as you've seen, with the craft knife, and now the paste I got from removing this part, I am actually adding to the page. So like that we have no waste, and like that also I am creating some texture, because as you've seen, I moved quickly my craft palette, I think craft palette, not craft knife, and I got some texture. And now I am adding infusions. Infusions are really beautiful powder paints with a walnut stain, so they will give you always this kind of very brown walnutty color. So be careful how you apply them, because you may get not the color you actually wanted. In this case, I'm adding two of the infusions, a bit Jaded and Green Man, and I'm sprinkling them on the paper and adding a little bit of water. And for that, I'm using my mini mister, which is super cool because it doesn't give me a lot of water on the page, and I have more control over where the water goes. So it's very nice. And when you have a powder paints, also if you have mini mister, it's better to use it because other sprayers may just send your powders all over the desk instead of making it rest on the page. And quickly, with a little bit of tissue, I am dabbing off the excess of the paint, because if there is a lot of water, that's where the walnut stains come to life. And so like that, the color gets this walnutty feel to it, or look to it. And so that's what I do by dabbing off the excess of the water. I am preventing this walnut color to be more visible, but you can see it here. Look guys, see here especially you see a small walnutty dots and touches of walnut color. I love that. For me it's such a cool thing also. That's why I really love infusions. They are maybe actually my favorite powders, together with flat magicals. I really love magicals, but I prefer the flat ones instead of the ones with the sparkle. But they are so nice. Like the infusions, they give you this because they are mix of colors. But anyway, like magicals, which are mix of colors, they'll give you these beautiful surprises, which I absolutely love. Now, when I work with stencils, I like to get a little bit of kind of a shadowing, maybe, in between the stenciled parts. So that's why this time I'm taking the Black Knight infusion, adding a tiny bit of water, being sure that, or making sure that the powder doesn't spray all over the place, and just adding it in these small nicks and crannies, I think. And spraying a little bit of water. So like that, the color stays in the flat surfaces, and the raised surfaces, which were done by stenciling, they will stay more or less the same color as they were before. So like that, you have this kind of impression of the, of the shadow, which stays at the in the background, and the raised levels, which are staying brighter, simply. But it's not always the case, so have a tissue or some kind of fabric at hand, so you can dab off the excess of the paint, and like that you can add a little bit more of the interest to the page. And as you can see, this is once again very grungy page, not paint. could have left the page like it is, but here is me. I love to play with the contrast on the page, so I am just gently dabbing my finger with a gesso and adding a little bit the gesso to the raised surfaces, and like that these surfaces are getting a little bit whiter, opposed to the background, which is darker. So like that, once again, small touches, but they can change your page so much. I decided to not do any stamping today. Instead, I am gonna be adding ink through the stencil. This is one of my stencils running in circles, and the Distress Oxide black Soot. So I just added with a sponge on both sides of the page or of the book. And like that, it looks almost like stamping, but because I had so many different surfaces here, some raised, some not raised, a lot of creases, and basically a lot of texture, the stamping is not always the good idea, because you may actually get half of the image or even less. And anyway, I just wanted to use this stencil because I was thinking it will go nicely with the rest of the page. And for the focal point, I added one of my graffiti people from my Digi collection, which you can find in my shop. I love this one, this collection in particular. It's so cool. And I'm just inking the edges so they are not very white, and they look nicely on the photos and in the book, and adding a little bit of tacky glue to just place it nicely. But you have to put something heavy on it. Well, the cream paste is not very heavy, but it did the job, because simply there are some raised surfaces, so you need to make sure that you will adhere your image well to the page. And I am adding a little bit of Distress Oxides also to the edges. And as you can see, some of the edges didn't actually glue correctly, so I'm gonna add a little bit of tacky glue in a second. You're gonna see it, and just put the pages together a little bit more correctly, I'd say. And like that, I'm sure that, you know, for the next time, I'm not gonna get seepage in between the pages, and that they are opening a little bit better. But maybe you've noticed at the very beginning that my book is not perfect. There are some pages which are not super well glued, or rather they were well glued, but at some point they actually came off. And I will try to fix it at some point, but not today. And this is one of my very sassy words. That's one of my newest book with the sentiments, and I just found a perfect place for it, so I didn't even think twice. This place where previously was the part of the destroyed kind of stenciled image, which I removed, and like that I have a perfect place for the words. And that's it, guys, for this page. I hope you liked the video. As always, I am so happy if you subscribe, hit the notification button, and leave me a comment. And as always, please check out my shop. You're gonna have a link in the description box below and probably on the first pinned comment. And if you want to know exactly the name of the products I used and also affiliate links, you can check them out by opening my description box. Just hit open more, and like that you will get all the necessary info you may want. And that's it from me for today. I wish you a beautiful week ahead, and I'm sending you big hugs. Bye bye.